Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Lavris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Barely Qualified. My name is Nick Lavris, and with me, as always, is Jason Maxwell, and making a surprise appearance from the hospital room, Mr. Drew Bailey. Before we dive into the show, Drew, I want to the floor is yours. Let's hear what your last 24 hours have been like.
Yeah, boys. It has been a absolute trip. I think since our Monday show, we have had 3 trips to the triage and finally got admitted to the hospital yesterday. But I am pleased to announce that we welcomed baby boy Nathan Andrew Bailey to the world, another Bears fan to add on to all this madness, and what a great season to come into. So I just wanted to stop in and say hi to you guys, and say I really love you guys. This is an amazing experience. I hope everybody in the Barely Qualified fandom has a chance to experience this at a time in their lives. I know both of you have, but I look forward to listening to the show tomorrow when you guys get it up. But good luck with the preview of the game against the Vikings. Go Bears, and thanks for all the well wishes from families to families.
Dude, awesome. Yeah, and just nothing else to say, but that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Drew.
Get some sleep when you can.
Yeah, gonna try.
Get some sleep. Appreciate you stopping by for the start of the show. I know that you got a lot of stuff going on right now, so appreciate it. And good luck with everything, man.
Yeah,
it's the best time of your life. Enjoy it.
Of course. Love you guys. Go Bears.
Yeah.
See ya.
Go Bears, baby.
All right, so that was Drew Bailey, live from the hospital room where his child was just born mere hours ago. So we're gonna get into the show now, actually. So Bears have a chance to go. Bears have a chance to go 7-3 this week, which is insane. I
don't know what's more insane. The Bears could go 7-3, or Drew just did a cameo.
Drew just
24 hours less than it was both absolutely Herculean accomplishments from the Barely Qualified pod.
Absolutely. So today's show, we're going to dive into all things Bears Vikings. We're going to preview the Week 10 or Week 11 matchup. We're going to talk through our Guillotine League. We're going to give some betting advice. We're going to do some 3-man weave. We're going to pick our fantasy teams, all that fun stuff. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about our friends over at Glen Rock Pop. Barely Qualified is proudly fueled by the fizz of Glen Rock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival. Crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles, and bursting with nostalgic flavor, Glen Rock is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, or my personal MVP, the all-new lime, Glen Rock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. Do you want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Follow them on Facebook at Glen Rock Pop for their latest event stops. Ready to stock up? Head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glen Rock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. So, a lot of stuff at the top of the show. But let's dive into this Bears game. Bears are playing in Minnesota on Sunday, another noon kickoff, which we've been really happy about the last month or so. It feels like it's right where they need to be. So the Bears are playing at noon on Sunday in Minnesota. Bears are +3 as of right now. Over under is set at 48.5, which it's a big number. That's like one of the bigger numbers I think I can remember for a Bears team.
Yeah.
So that's fun to see. And if you're feeling a little dangerous, Bears are +130 money line, which I will definitely be partaking in.
Yeah, you got to.
And so storylines going into this game. One thing that I noticed when I was going through the show, when I was going through this, I saw a graphic. I think I saw it on Reddit. I'm not 100% sure where I saw it, but I saw this graphic. It was from MrCaseb.com or MrCaseby.com. I don't know what it's called, but essentially he does simulations with some kind of computer program to predict outcomes in the NFL. He says that if the Bears lose this game, they have a 35% chance to make the playoffs. If they win, they go up to 66% chance.
Wow.
So I'm dubbing this the gateway game. The Bears win this game, there is a two-thirds chance that they make the playoffs this season, which is insane. It's insane, Jay.
Completely insane. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, to come like the Bears, not only are the Bears 6-3 right now, but the Bears are 6-1 in their last 7.
Yeah.
Now, haters are going to come out here and say they haven't beaten anybody yet this year, and those haters would be correct in this instance. We haven't beaten. The best team we've beaten is the Cowboys, who I think are 3-4-1, 3-5-1, something like that. Not good. But again, you win the games in front of you. I don't think anybody thinks this Bears team is a good team, but year one, Ben Johnson, with a very similar team you had to last year, you got to feel pretty confident about the future of the team based on how they're performing right now. We've talked about it a million times. They've won at least 3 games that there's no chance they win before. So I think regardless of how the rest of the season plays out, I still think this is definitely a positive thing moving forward. I don't think you can look at it any other way. I don't know. What do you think about the future? As of right now, we're at about a little bit past the midway point. What do you think about the Bears' future based on the first 8 games? 9 games?
I would have never thought that they were going to be 6-3 at this point, to be completely honest with you. So, I mean, the future is bright. We're getting into the hard part of the schedule, but this game is winnable. Is winnable. And, you know, from that simulation, when you kind of wrote that down and you spoke about that, is, you know, what jumped out to me too is, hey, even if you lose this game, you still have a 33% chance to make the playoffs. That's insane.
It's not like it's nothing. Yeah, 33% chance is still better than most teams in the NFC right now.
And the fact of the matter is, this is a winnable game. It's a gettable game. I saw like the ESPN predictor had it basically a coin flip 50-50. We'd love to see this. I really wish we had this game in Chicago. I always get scared going up to Minneapolis, but I mean, if you can. We talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago. The Bengals game, like, is this the must-win game? Is this the launching board into the playoffs? And then you string another one against the Giants. I mean, is it that hard to ask for one more to get to 66% odds to make the playoffs, man? I mean, that would be insane. When have we ever been on the plus side of 50% to make the playoffs in the last decade?
Probably
2018.
Not since 2018, and before that, probably not since like, I don't know, the 2010. You know, it's not a lot. The Bears, you know, the one cool thing about being a Bears fan is you're very familiar with the years the Bears are good because you can draw it up really quickly. Those. Like, I know right off the top of my head, it's like, well, it was either 2006, 2010, or 2018 because those are the only 3 years they've been good in the last 20 years.
Literally. Yeah. So we deserve this. We deserve to have this optimism. I'll tip my hat to Drew. He's been saying that, beating that drum, and so have you, Nick, the entirety of the year. It's like, let's be optimistic about this. And I was not. I mean, we started off 0-2. It's like, oh, okay, 4 wins, 5 wins. Here we go again. And the immediate turnaround's been awesome. And like, I believe that the Bears can win this game. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk by any means. I think it's gonna be a struggle. But it's winnable. That's huge.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's all you can ask for right now is just like meaningful football late in the season. That's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, I do believe that this is going to be a coin flip game too. Like, I think the Bears can quite literally, if they play another kind of clean game, reduce those penalties and so on and so forth, and can keep Caleb upright, like, this is it's winnable. It's not it's not unrealistic to bet the Bears money line at plus 130 like that. I'm going to be all over that. And that's going to be for fandom too. Cause it's like, we're at that point where it's like, this might be doable. And we haven't been there in so long, and it's really exciting to be in that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is exciting. I will admit that there is a little something in the back of my mind that is making it seem like this 6-3 start is priming us up for a very heartbreaking second half of the season. That is there in the back of my mind. I don't think that's avoidable. And I do think that unlike years past where the Bears get off to these like okay starts, so look even at like last year, they were like 4-1, something like that at the start of the year. And we got really excited because we genuinely thought last year they were going to be a playoff contending team. This year, I still don't think the Bears are a good team, like right now.
Yeah.
I think they're a young team that's getting better and they're believing. But like if the Bears had to play against like the Chiefs or, the Eagles or a really good Super Bowl contending team this week, I would not have a lot of confidence they'd win that game.
Right.
But I think the Bears are in a place now where they're in that, like, they're not in the top tier. They're probably not even the second tier, maybe the bottom of the third tier, maybe whatever, but they're still a team that, like, I don't think like you watch them play and sometimes it doesn't really make sense because they look so bad on offense and defense. Like, how is this team won any games? But they just have this immeasurable ability about them to keep games close and to to be there in the end. And there's really all you can ask for as a sports fan.
Now, 100%. I mean, that's perfectly said. Yeah, if we're playing an elite team, I'm with you. Like there's still, we've been trained as Bears fans to be skeptical, right? But on the optimistic side of this, we're in week 11. We're going into week 11 now, right? So like there is and again, have we only beaten bad teams? Sure, but in the NFL, it's like you do have to beat who's in front of you, and they've done that. And in years past, that wasn't always the case. We're more than halfway through the season now. That you are what you are. I mean, I forget who always says that, but like you are what your record says you are in the NFL.
That was Bill Parcells, is who said
that. Yeah, and there's merit to that. But I know this is a little bit. I'm struggling internally in my own internal monologue or dialogue. I don't know if I have two people living up there, but the point is, it's like, yeah, you are what your record says you are. Your record, that is true. I have my worries, and like this, we were talking about must-win games. Like if you want to get into the playoffs and have a chance, now we're real. Now we're at the time where I think we can agree that this is a must-win game.
Yeah. If at this point in the season, if your goals are now like your goals, I feel like if you're sitting at 6-3, you're technically tied, I guess, for top of the NFC North, although the Lions are the tiebreaker right now. Same record as the best team in the NFC North. I mean, your season goals have changed. Your goals coming this season were maybe win 8-9 games. Now your goals are, let's get in the playoffs. Let's see what this team can do. Let's maybe make a run at this division. Like that's what the goals are now. Will they get those goals? I don't think they'll win the NFC North. We talked about that last week.
Right.
I do think I said 2 weeks ago, I raised the ceiling and my expectations of the Bears from 8-9 wins to a wild card team that doesn't, that loses on the road. But I shouldn't say expectations. I raised the ceiling. So I think this team can get to the playoffs. And being 6-3 after 9 games is definitely, that's how you do that. You get to the playoffs by doing that. It's harder to do. They put themselves in a good spot. They had an easy schedule. They took advantage of it. And that's all you can do as a team. So,
Yep. It does. Like now I'm giving myself the ability to be greedy and I know I'm going to go back in a few weeks and be like, man, that week 1 game, that week 1 game, if they could have pulled it. I mean, the difference between 6-3 and 7-2 is like, no, you're 7-2, you're like cream of the crop in the NFL this year. If you only have 2 losses,
I think that would be one of the best records in the NFL.
There's no one loss. There's no one loss teams in the NFL.
Yeah. Right.
So even you think of that too, it's like if you keeping that perspective, the Bears are 1 loss in the loss column behind the best record in the NFL. Insane. Not right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. It's
so,
wild.
But you know what I mean? Like, I guess I keep on going back and forth. It's like, there's no way this team is this good. So let's pump the brakes. But
right.
The record's there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Bears have had an easy schedule, but the Bears aren't the only team that's played an easy schedule.
Yeah, well, we're watching one right now, the Patriots.
We are. And the Patriots, I will say, and I don't want to get too much into around the league, but the Patriots beating the Bucs this past week in Tampa, definitely kind of like, all right, this team's for real. But I do think that they are kind of similar to the Bears in that they're a young team, new coach. I mean, very similar to the Bears, actually.
Yeah.
Young quarterback, same draft class, first-year head coach, although he has some head coaching experience. A team that, a lot of people thought might make a little bit of a jump this year, but probably weren't expecting them to be on top of the AFC East right now, comfortably, by the way. Like the Bills are like 2 games back, and they have a loss to the Patriots, so they're basically 3 games down at this point in the AFC East. The Patriots are, they had an easy schedule. They learned how to win. They learned how to do all the hard stuff and down the stretch. And now they had a big game where they had to prove it, and they went out there and they did it. So I think that if the Bears do win this game in Minnesota, not that the Vikings and the Bucs are the same, but they, I feel like a divisional game is a little bit different. So I think it kind of evens out. You win this game in Minnesota, it's like, okay, I think this Bears team might be like a legit, maybe not like a legit Super Bowl contender, but this team, they're going to be in the playoff picture the rest of the season.
For sure. I was watching, around inside the NFL or whatever ESPN's NFL inside whatever thing is, and for whatever reason they were talking about the Bears and the response and kind of analysis, if you want to call it that, on Caleb was, for the first time I can remember in the national media, very positive. And when they were breaking down the Bears in general, not just Caleb, but they're like, Caleb's ability to hold on to the ball is actually becoming like a positive, or however you want to say it. But it was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. But what they were saying about the Bears is accurate in the sense that they're not clicking at 100%. They're not clicking at 80% of their potential right now, but they're still winning football games. And so when they improve on their efficiency and start to really kind of click, like the sky's kind of the limit for this offense. And that's really, it's true. It is true. And we should have that optimism and that desire to say, listen, it's not a great football team, but it's a football team that's getting better and it's untapped to its full potential. Yeah. Really cool spot to be.
Yeah. I mean, I know you just mentioned the offense, and the offense is catches your eye right off the bat. Like I said at the jump of the show, the over under in the Bears game is it's 48.5 points this week in Minnesota, which is crazy as a Bears fan. You're not used to seeing numbers getting close to 50 like that. But the defense, I know they give up a lot of yards, and I know we were hard on them on the Monday show, but one of the big things we've talked about probably the most about the defense is our lack of generating a pass rush. So the Bears have gotten 13.5 or 14 sacks the last 4 games or something like that.
Yeah. So
you pump those numbers up, the defense it might start to come around. This is about the time of year where you look at some of those Ravens teams, and even this current Ravens team, bad defenses gave up a lot of yards. And then around the middle of the season, they kind of figure it out, put some stuff together. And next thing you know, they're like a top 10 unit. I don't know if the Bears are going to be a top 10 unit, but like we said, if the Bears can be a top 15, top 18 unit on defense, in the middle of the pack, and with the offense they have, they are legitimately a good team. They're legitimately a playoff team. Someone that maybe isn't going to be favored in any playoff games, but a team that you probably don't want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah. And you said it best last week too. It's if this defense can be a middle of the road average NFL defense, they're going to be just fine. Right. And that's what's cool about this team. Yeah. And you know what, we touched on this a couple shows ago too, but I think it warrants being kind of resaid and restated, is we're not dogging on the offensive of line. And we were to start with. They actually are looking really good. We've been talking about Darnell Wright mauling people and things of that nature, but the sack numbers are down. And Caleb's still holding on to the ball, but the sack numbers are down. The run's being established. These things are progressing. You just mentioned the defense. The defensive line is still, I would say, the glaring weakness of this team. 100%. That's just unavoidable. And the sack numbers are great. I think what we've kind of discussed before is that, the sack numbers are getting better. They're being a little bit more creative and sending some additional blitzes and secondary and linebackers and so on and so forth. But that's the kind of stuff we never saw, from the Flus era and when the defense was struggling. It was we'll try the exact same thing and hopefully it'll work this time. And it's the coaching staff is coaching the players to get
Right.
them to improve, but it's also scheming to kind of mitigate some of the weaknesses on the team. And that's like really uncharted territory as a Bears fan to see the coaching actually coach well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, ideally your coach should not necessarily, like, the coaches that come in and say, like, this is my scheme, this is what we're doing, I don't care who we have or what their skills are, this is my scheme. Like, those coaches don't win. Like, that's just not
right.
You can't, if you're going to be like rigid like that, you can't do it. Like, I think Bill Belichick is a very overrated coach just because he had Tom Brady on his team. But one thing about Belichick is that you've seen the Patriots dynasty under Belichick win with an offense that could put up 400 yards a game. You've seen the Patriots win with a running game that dominated. You've seen the Patriots win with a unstoppable defense and an offense that just like moved the ball and kind of kept the defense rested. So he had that ability to know what his team had and play to its strengths and try to avoid its weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that's really what being a good coach is. You can have the best system in the world, but if your system doesn't fit the players you have, or your players don't fit the system, and you still try and do it anyway, a la Matt Eberflus, playing the same fucking defense every game, no matter what, and teams figuring it out, or not being, our defensive players not being able to execute properly, you're going to lose. Like, nobody can just out scheme constantly with players that don't fit. So it's good to see coaches that understand that and are willing to, mold the game plan around what works, instead of, a lot of times I feel like a lot of teams watch film and they try to do only the things that'll work against a specific, like, whatever the defense or offense they see on film, but they don't think about like what their team does well. And I think that's probably first and foremost. You got to do stuff that your team does well.
100%. 100%. And what I love most about what we're seeing from Ben Johnson is he says, you know what, we might not run the ball well to start the season, but damn it if we aren't going to get good at it. And that happened, right? And even when we weren't, even when we were racking up wins against Vegas and early on in the seasons, like, the run game wasn't there, but they were able to kind of mitigate around that. But it's something you can kind of see, okay, I'm going to scheme for our strengths, and we're going to, whatever weaknesses are, we're going to improve those. And that combination of the two is really apparent. And that's how you go 6-1 over your last 7.
Yeah.
That's how you get better.
Yeah. And apologies if you were watching this and you just saw me chuckling, because I just saw Justin Fields have his signature fourth quarter turnover. Kind of, it was a low snap. It was a little bit of a low snap, but good Lord, this guy.
I'm a play behind. There it is. Yep. There it is.
Yep.
Scramble mode.
They weren't going to win anyway. Let's be honest.
No. Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, no, for sure. I think the run game is a really good thing to look at when you look at the coaching staff. Because didn't work. They didn't I wouldn't say they just kind of kept trying to beat a dead horse when it wasn't working, but they also still worked at it. It wasn't like the Bears, the running game wasn't working. They kept doing first down run, second down run, third down, third and long throw. They would get creative, but they would stick with the run, which is important. And now you're seeing that, that pay off a little bit, because they're becoming a pretty good running team. They've played against bad defenses, but still they're getting it done, and they're putting up big, gaudy numbers against these bad defenses, which is what you should do against a bad defense.
Exactly.
It'd be one thing if they're putting up 115 yards against the Bengals defense, but they're not. They put up 270 yards.
Right? Insane.
Right. So you can say they're playing bad defenses, but when you put up that many yards, okay, well, that's what happens when good teams play bad teams. But I actually am glad we're talking about the Bears running game, and I actually kind of want to pivot this back to the Vikings game a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was, I don't follow the Vikings week to week. I don't know what their stats are. I don't really watch, I know that Brian Flores is a good defensive coordinator, so I kind of just assumed they were a good run. They were a good defense, and they are a relatively good defense for the most part. But the Vikings are right around the Bears in terms of rushing yards allowed per game.
Wow. I would not have guessed that. I would never have guessed that.
Vikings give up over 125 yards rushing per game.
Wow.
Which is only 8 yards better than the Bears per game. So
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah. The Vikings are in the bottom third of the league, just above literally two teams that the Vikings, Commanders, Bears is the order. So Yeah, so I do think that with that being said, the Bears offensive line and running game has a real chance to like do some damage on Sunday. And I think
That
that's what you got to lean on. I really
you
do
got
think
to.
that's what you got to lean on.
You got
Um,
to.
When it comes to passing yards per game, the Vikings are much better. Vikings are giving up 100 under 200 passing yards a game, which is top 10 to they're like ninth in the league in passing yards per game. So the passing yards, I mean, the defense is good for against the pass, but the running, they do give up a lot of yards on the run. So I do think that, you're going to see a big dose of DeAndre Swift, a big dose of Kyle Monangai, probably a big dose of Caleb like tucking in and running it as well. So I mean, talking about, we kind of were at the beginning, we were talking about like this being like a big opportunity for the Bears to get to within, 66% chance making the playoffs. It's not really a pipe dream. You were saying it earlier. Like, this isn't a game that like, it would be cool if the Bears won. It's like, I think the Bears could win this game. And I don't think it's crazy to say that. They're 3-point underdogs in a game on the road, which is basically a pick 'em at that point. So, I really think the Bears pound the run. They can do this. And to get to the other side of the ball, I don't know. Did you watch much of the Vikings Ravens game last week?
I saw the red zone clips. I didn't see much other than that, but I was tuned in.
I mean, JJ McCarthy, he's a young quarterback. He's basically a rookie. We've talked about it before. He is throwing he's clearly trying to get Justin Jefferson involved in the offense, and he is willing to throw into double, triple coverage to do it. And the Bears have a knack to take the ball away. So I do think this could be a situation where the Bears will probably give up some yards. I don't know. I can see a situation where he's throwing the ball up into coverage, and Bears safeties kind of have a field day this week too.
I would love to see it. Yeah, I'm just not a believer in JJ McCarthy. You get a little pressure, get those feet dancing a little bit, and it's like, let's have a day. I'm with you there though. The concern for me is anytime you have an elite wide receiver against the Bears, a la,
of course,
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the same team, but like that's just always so scary because those chunk, and it's because of the lack of pressure from the front four. But when you can allow an elite receiver 3 seconds to run 15 yards cut in under a soft zone, like that's just we've seen that over and over again where there's no one within 5 yards of the guy, and then he's got space to run too. That's always my concern with Justin Jefferson. That is not as much of it's a concern, but like the JJ McCarthy factor of it all helps me with that, right? Like that it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And one thing I'll say, so I do think that JJ McCarthy is vulnerable against the blitz. The Bears have shown the last few weeks that they can get home with blitzes. The one thing about JJ McCarthy, right? This isn't going to be Russ Wilson back there. This isn't going to be Joe Flacco back there. It's going to look a lot more like what Jackson Dart was able to do, get him, run around. So if you're going to blitz, the Bears have to make sure that contain is one of the biggest things. Like that's got to be a big word at Hallis Hall this week is contain. Because, we've seen it with Caleb. We saw it with Jackson Dart against the Bears last week. If you get initial pressure, miss them, and there's no contain, that's just a big play waiting to happen. JJ McCarthy, he doesn't scare me much as a passer, but he is an athletic guy back there. And if he gets outside the pocket, he can go just as good as Jackson Dart could. So maybe not just as good, but decent enough.
Yeah.
So Bears defense, I think, get pressure, get immediate pressure, and contain. Like make sure he doesn't get outside your widest guy. Those are the big things. That's the thing on defense.
That's spot on. We were talking about that after the Giants game too. It's like the Jackson Dart, the elusive quarterback, is something that the Bears just have a hard time with. Drew was last week on. He's like, where was the spy? I mean, maybe they implement that a couple times just to keep everybody honest. But you're right, because there are a lot of similarities between Jackson Dart and JJ McCarthy, right? The young guys, the mobile guys, the more mobile than you might think. Right.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a stat too that the Bears are giving the most rushing yards up to quarterbacks this year. I'll double check that. But if they're not the worst in the league, they're darn close to it. So it's like that you're right. The contain has to be the focus because we can't have escapability make explosive plays happen. So,
yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, a quick Google search said the Chiefs are giving up the most rushing yards for a quarterback, but then I also see the Bengals. I don't know. I imagine the Bears are very close to the bottom because I feel like one, they can't get any I mean, maybe they're not at the bottom because they can't get pressure, so no quarterback really has to run on them.
yeah.
They can just kind of stand back there and wait for their receivers to get open. But yeah, that definitely is a problem, and they need to make sure that they contain JJ McCarthy. It was a problem in the Week 1 game against the Vikings.
Yeah,
I remember several times McCarthy was like, "There's nobody open." He just took off and ran for 8 to 10 yards. So that's going to be a big thing in this game is containing JJ McCarthy, or 9 as he goes by on Sundays. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, his alter ego. It's like, come on, you're too not cool to do that.
When you have to like come out and say that you call yourself a different name and it's just your number. I mean, that's the lamest thing in the world.
You've lost all aura.
if Aaron Jones, like a veteran running back, was like, you know what, on game days I don't call him JJ McCarthy, I call him 9. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like giving yourself a nickname. Like you can't give yourself a nickname.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like,
yeah.
I tried to go by JP in my sophomore year of high school. I think about that all the time and cringe. And it's like, that was fuck me, you know? And like, hopefully JJ McCarthy wakes up 5 years from now. I was like, that was pretty lame. Yeah. That's what it is.
JP, I like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you do. I don't. It haunts me every day.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to have a name that you could shorten to just like the initials, but MT just like doesn't flow great. So I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was always like, my dad, he could have, like, I was always like, Dad, why don't you go by TJ? TJ's so much cooler. And he's like, what? He's like, didn't know. Anyway.
TJ is pretty cool though.
Yeah. Not bad as far as they go. My younger son, I could call him JP. I might start doing that.
There you go.
As an homage to you. So
yeah, think of me.
So anyway, Bears defense, like I said, get immediate pressure, whether it's through blitzes or, I mean, ideally your front four, but let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen. Let's get pressure and let's contain, make him throw. I don't have any faith that if JJ McCarthy throws the ball like 30 to 35 times that they're going to, be successful very often. So I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And then on offense, just pound the rock, just run it down their throats. That's really all it is too. If Caleb can make a couple nice throws to complement it, great. But just absolutely force feed the run game right down their throats. I think those are the keys to the win in my mind.
Yeah. What I'm most looking forward to from just like an X's and O's perspective and kind of a litmus test for how's Caleb handle pressure and more exotic looks, Brian Flores, exotic blitz packages, whatnot, is going to be this, this game is going to be telling for, okay, was Caleb doing great against really shitty defenses and in passing defenses and blitzes and things like that? Or is this kind of for real? Are we really, really improving? And I think that's what I'm most looking forward in this game, besides the win, besides the losses, is how is Caleb going to look against that Brian Flores defense? We talk about that all the time too. Brian Flores, but there's merit to that. Even though I'm still shocked by the rushing stats for the Vikings, but the passing stats are legit, and there's a reason for that. And so we'll see how Caleb shows up. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think kind of to go along with that, not only do I want to see how Caleb handles the Brian Flores blitz package, I also want to see how the offensive line passes off the blitz package.
Mm-hmm.
Too many times you see a highlight, whether you're scrolling Instagram or on Twitter, or you're watching ESPN or whatever you're seeing, where you see like two offensive linemen kind of like looking like kind of blocking nobody because their defensive tackle like looped inside and somebody else looped outside, and they're very confused and they don't know who to block, and there's like two free rushes at the quarterback. So I'm curious to see how the offensive line handles this, because picking up blitzers as an offensive lineman is not easy to do. Like, it's really the whole point of defensive line stunts and blitzes, and sometimes a combination of the two, is to confuse the offensive line into not blocking anybody so you have a free rusher. So I do think the offensive line, like you said, has gotten a lot better over the last 2 months. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I'd like to see Caleb recognize it, shift his protection as needed, and also for the offensive line to know their assignments and execute them. I think
Yeah.
that's really a big key.
Yeah, I mean, you could almost say overall it's going to be fun to see how this offense as an
Yeah.
entire unit faces up against this defense in Minnesota. The crowd noise is going to be crazy. Can they, not jump off in false start and line up and do all that stuff? Like this is a great all around test for the offense, and things are trending in the right direction. And you just got to kind of keep it going. You got to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me get into the injury report for this week for the Chicago Bears. Again, it's hard. It's weird because it's not great, but it's also better than it's been in the past. So Jaquan Brisker popped up on the injury report. I don't remember. Did he get hurt in the game on Sunday? I don't remember him getting hurt, but
he had, I thought it was a shoulder thing, but then he popped back into the game. So I'm seeing back on the injury report. So that's new to me.
Yeah. So Jaquan Brisker hasn't participated in practice at all this week with a back injury. So that's a little disheartening because I think it was literally just Monday I was talking about how he has played every defensive snap and how he's been really good, and it's good to see him healthy. I will say seeing him on the injury report with anything besides a concussion is good to see. Very refreshing.
Yeah, true.
I'm happy, like a back injury, a back sounds bad, but it's not another concussion for him. So if they need to hold him out a week, fine. But obviously I think he's one of the better Bears defensive players, so I'd like to see him out there. But speaking of better Bears defensive players, TJ Edwards also going to miss this game. It looks like he did not participate in practice yesterday or today. He's been out a couple weeks with a hand and a hamstring. So if he needs another week to get healthy, I'm off. Keep him out until he's healthy. He tried to come back earlier this year and just re-injured himself. So if he needs a couple weeks to stay off his legs, I have no problem with it. I want to see him out there playing because I think he's a really big difference maker on the Bears defense. Although, and we've talked about this a lot, Tremaine Edmonds has stepped up big time this season.
He has.
He's a guy who we were dogging pretty hard going into this year, saying that he was washed. He's probably on his way out. He's having a Pro Bowl season this year.
Yeah, he's doing great.
He's doing awesome. So if we can get them both out there at the same time, I think this defense does get a little bit better, obviously.
Yeah.
So
well, really quick on the TJ Edwards front too. I read a quick write-up that they said they're going to put his hand in a cast, and once his hand is, quote unquote, per the report, going to be okay. It's the hamstring that's kind of the concern for this week. So that's at least good news on one front. I don't know if he's going to play or not. We'll stay tuned on that, but at least the hand's progressing and he'll be able to suit up in a cast. So long as the hamstring is amended.
Yeah. And the game being indoors, you don't have to worry about any weather and like that with like a hamstring, that's like, you don't want somebody with a tender hamstring playing in a cold game. So the fact that this game's in Minnesota inside makes you think that there's a slightly better chance he will play. But we'll see. We'll monitor that. Joe Thuney, he was out again for rest, but again, he's mauling people. So I don't care. He can rest as much as he wants.
Yep.
Please just do whatever you're doing. It's fine with me. DJ Moore and Rome Odunze popped up on the injury report this week. They both did not participate in practice yesterday, but they both were limited today. Typically that means they're trending towards playing, but you never know. I know DJ has been really banged up he had the what was it, the oblique or the whatever it was for a few weeks ago where he had to go to the hospital, or the groin. It was a groin. And now he's got a shoulder. He's been banged up. So you never know. Rome, this is the first I've seen of an ankle injury on Rome. But he did practice today. So that's good to see. And then a couple guys were back at practice full time today. Grady Jarrett's been practicing full today. Cole Kmet, he's back. Dominique Robinson, he's back from an ankle injury. Tyreek Stevenson, he's back from a shoulder. DeAndre Swift back from a hip injury. So I think all those guys I just listed are probably going to play, which is good because you really, again, the Bears 6-3, having a great season, but they don't have enough talent to keep digging deeper into the depth chart. So
100% on the wide receiver front too. Rome, slightly tweaked ankle. Fantasy Pros was saying he's got a 92% based on their advanced AI models. He's got a 92% chance to go. Take that for what it is. They gave me a little bit of a sigh of relief. I would expect him to play, but who knows? You just never know. DJ Moore was asked earlier today if he'll be good to go on Sunday. His response was one word, duh. So he's thinking he's going to play. Who knows? But, just if anyone wants some optimism that both of those guys are going to be out there, read into that what you will. But hopefully signs are pointing to a full suit up.
Yeah, and the fact that they both practiced a little bit today is definitely also kind of more evidence of that. We talked about this on Monday, but I definitely wouldn't hate to see some Luther Burden action, especially with these guys hobbled a little bit. And I just think that I saw a statistic that Caleb to Luther Burden has of all the pass throwers to pass catchers in the NFL is the highest QB rating when that passer is targeting that catcher.
That's a sexy stat.
It is. I mean, I think Luther Burden has 12 catches on the year, so it's a pretty small sample size, but that is cool to see. So I like that. I think that it would be good to see some more Luther Burden. Like we said, he's electric. So we'll see what happens there. I do have one other Bears thing I want to talk about before we move on to some of our other segments. This is a fun thing I've seen online a lot lately. I've seen this a lot on Reddit and a lot of Twitter stuff. There is apparently a Bears-Eagles fan alliance. Don't know if you've seen this at all. But
no, I haven't.
Just to give you a little background, the NFC East and the NFC North play each other this season as their, conference division opponents. And for the way the schedule worked out is that the Eagles and the Bears play all of the other teams in each other's division before they play each other. The Bears have already beaten the entire NFC North minus the Eagles, the NFC East. They beat the Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants already. So we're helping the Eagles by beating their division, folks. And then the Eagles have beaten the Vikings and the Packers, and then they hopefully can finish it off this weekend against the Lions and go 3-0 against the NFC North. So there's this building fun thing. There's also some connections, like Vic Fangio's the DC in Philadelphia. Obviously, he was the DC here for a few years, and they were good. But it's just a fun thing I've seen, Eagles fans and our Eagles fans are talking about how, we're allies for up until Black Friday and all this fun stuff. And I don't know, it is interesting because I don't know. I mean, it seems weird. I feel like this doesn't happen super often where you play a division and two teams just win every game against the other division. So, and it's also weird that it's the Bears doing it. I would have assumed that it would be the Packers or somebody, but here we are.
It's like the classic World War II alliance of the Soviets and Great Britain and the U.S.
Yeah,
the common enemy forges a great alliance.
Exactly. So I thought that was a fun thing. I thought that was fun to see that a lot of Eagles fans specifically are saying it, which is also funny because the NFC East kind of sucks and there's really no real threat to the Eagles out there. In fact, I don't even know who's in second place of those teams because they're all so bad.
I think it's the Cowboys, dude.
Cowboys, but they're 4 games behind. It's bad. But yeah, I mean, one thing we haven't talked about, which maybe it's just because we don't want to say it and have it not jinx it. The Lions have a tough game at Philadelphia this week where Eagles are actually favored. The Lions are underdogs in this game. If the Bears can beat the Vikings on Sunday at noon, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be the division leaders at the end of the weekend.
It's not out of the realm. It's actually
it's very possible.
It's way too possible.
It's like a coin flip at this point.
Yeah.
It really is because both games are basically a coin flip. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And I'll tell you what, if that happens, our next show is going to be absolute. It's going to be because we're going to go. We've been slowly progressing. I swear, Nick, we've been slowly progressing. Okay, can we can we hit the 8.5? Now can we get to the playoffs? Can we get the wild card spot? If we're division winners after week 11, I mean, what the hell are we going to be talking about?
We are going to get real cocky, real unbearable.
Yeah.
It's going to get ugly. It is.
It is.
It's crazy. It's crazy that, yeah, there is a not zero chance that next time we talk to our barely qualified listeners, the Bears might be the leaders in the NFC North after more than halfway through the season. Which, I mean, I never, and we're not even there, and I'm still like, I never thought this would happen. But anyway, it's possible. It's crazy.
But you know what? The bar's been so low for so long, and like let's have some fun with it. Let's let the optimism permeate into our mental state, you know, and like actually mean it and actually feel the vibes that it's possible. We know that it's not going to happen.
Open yourself up. Let yourself get hurt again. It's okay. It's what we want. It's what sports are for.
That's what
sports
they're
aren't supposed to be safe.
No,
you know, like it's not supposed to be like, well, whatever. I'll monitor the situation. No. Open yourself up. Let yourself get hurt. Like, otherwise, what are you doing?
That's perfectly said, and it's so true. And we deserve to be hurt in week 14 rather than week 6. You know, that for us is a win. Damn it.
Yeah,
that for us is a win.
Absolutely. Like, here, another thing. Winning this game, you win this game, you go to 7-3. That all but guarantees that you're at least playing meaningful football games the rest of the regular season.
You'll see the Bears logo in the hunt until the end of the season.
No matter what happens.
Yep. Yeah. that's fun. Right. We can achieve greatness in that regard.
Yeah. Like when you're the fan of a team who has just been so shitty at year after year, coach after coach, GM after GM, draft pick after draft pick, the bar is so low that, if I'm watching a game, if I'm watching one of the Christmas Day games and they show the in the hunt graphic and the Bears are like anywhere on there, I'm like, all right, let's fucking
pour yourself an extra cup of eggnog and have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you win this game, you're on the in the hunt graphic the rest of the season. Like you just have.
God. I mean, this is starting to feel, the more we're kind of hyping this up, this is the game of this decade, of the 2020s for the Bears.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's untrue, actually. I think that is real.
It's not a week 11 game against the Vikings is the game of this decade. But you're right. Because what else has there been? There's been nothing.
Literally nothing, man.
There's been the end of the Nagy era, which was a fucking disaster. There's been the entire Eberflus era, which was a complete disaster from start to finish. Ugh.
And we got
can't forget about the Thomas Brown era that lasted like 12 games or whatever it was last year. Remember him?
I mean, do you remember the Thanksgiving game last year? That was like the bottom of the that was it. That was the bottom of Bears fandom. I'm pretty sure.
It had to be, because I mean, statistically, it had to be, because the Bears had famously never fired a coach mid-season.
Yep.
And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was like when George McCaskey was like, you know what? I don't fucking care.
Fuck
this is you're done. Like you can't lose a game like that with timeouts in your pocket, dude. What are you doing?
It forced him to fire a guy and still pay him, and that's never been done in the history of the Bears. So,
and it probably will never be done again. Let's be honest.
Probably not.
As long as McCaskey's on the team, it will never be done again. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. This might be the biggest game in probably 7 years.
Yeah.
So,
and you know where I'm going to be for the game?
Where?
Child's birthday party.
Hey.
Right. Yep. So me and a bunch of the dads will be streaming on our phones. You know it, and probably have a kid or two break an arm while we're not watching attentively. But that's life.
The fun thing about when that happens is, there's always like one dad whose phone is like 3 plays behind, and then someone's like 2 plays ahead, and you just gather around the guy who's got the furthest ahead phone. I think that's what you gotta do. Is that a house, or is it at like a birthday party venue?
Birthday party venue.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll get the job. Well, we'll multitask. It's all good.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Exactly. Life always finds a way.
Life finds a way, baby. Yep.
All right. Well, Jay, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about for this Bears Vikings game?
This is one where it's reprieve from the X's and O for me, and I'm really going to go into this and attack it as from the fan angle. I want to see Caleb do well like that. Yeah. Aside from that, I want to see the offense look good, but I just want to get a damn win, and that's fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I want to sit here and say that I want the Bears to be fun to watch the whole game and play a smooth 4-quarter game. But really, at the end of the day, as long as they have more points than the Vikings, when the clock strikes 0 in the 4th quarter, that's all I care about.
Amen, bro. That's so perfectly said.
That's
exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I don't care how they get there. I don't care what it looks like. Just get me this win, please.
Yeah.
I think this will be kind of a big culture definer for Ben Johnson too, because this is a game I feel like where the Bears are building some momentum. Everybody's talking about, like we're talking about, like if you win this game, there's a decent chance you're on top of the division. Your playoff chances double, almost like more than double. This is a game the Bears just go out and fall on their face and lose. So if in our lives, so if Ben Johnson can get this team up for this game, get over because this is a big game, like we just talked about. If they can get over that and they can go out there and they can execute and come away with a win, I think that is like a big, point for the Ben Johnson era and the culture he's building here.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like what he said too. It's like we've been saying the last 2 weeks, like, all right, Bengals, Giants, we just want to see a good, clean win, execute on all cylinders. This is just you scratch and claw and get that W, and I'll be happy as a clam.
Yeah, just win, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, that'll do it for the Bears talk of the show. So, Jay, I'm going to let you kind of take the lead to kind of go through our betting and fantasy stuff that we did.
That sounds like a plan, man. Yep. Now the betting corner, the fantasy corner, brought to us by Chuck's Southern Comforts Buffet. So, hey, BQ Army, are you guys looking for your next great place to enjoy a Bears game with great food, drinks, and people? Well, look no further than Chuck's Southern Comfort Buffet on Cass, just off of I-55 in Darien. Chuck's has great food and drink specials for every day of the week. And for game day especially, you can find a link to those and their menu in our descriptions and bios on our socials. $3 PBRs, $5 Yingling pints, and more for their Sunday specials, with a wide open layout for bar patrons, including slots, seated dinner guests, and even private event spaces. Chuck's has everything you need for your next outing. So get on down there and tell them that the BQ boys sent you, and maybe we'll even see you for a Bears game or two this year. So let's get into that fantasy corner. We'll start things out with the Guillotine League. It was another electric week, as they all are. Yeah. I mean, we're 10 down, 8 to go. So we're in the Elite Eight if you made it there. Obviously, it's been crazy. Duncan, my cousin Duncan got knocked out this past week. And so, Duncan, if you're listening, we miss you already, man. Thanks for playing. That's not even like a sarcastic, thanks for playing, asshole. No, but seriously, thanks for playing. It was a lot of fun. I know we were texting a lot back and forth. The adrenaline was pretty high. But it's wild that there's only 8 teams now. So there's just a lot of talent out there. And I know for a fact, Sam texted me today. He's like, whoops, or he texted me yesterday. It's like, I forgot to put my bids in for Fab. And you can kind of tell that the money has been kind of dwindling. Oh yeah. There might not have been some showstoppers on the talent, but I'll tell you what, Ladd McConkey in Fab went for $252. That was the highest bid. So you're kind of seeing that money kind of shrink, and those bids kind of reflect that even on good players. Jalen Warren was in the pool. He went for a $150. Zay Flowers for $120. But then you kind of look, and it's like DeAndre Swift. That's a serviceable running back in an 8-team league. Who knows? But $29. Chase Brown, $5. AJ Brown, $5. Like, it kind of speaks to. I mean, AJ Brown's not been great this year from a fantasy perspective, but like $5 for AJ Brown and his upside is a little bit crazy. I put a bid on every one of these players. I have no money left, so that's why I didn't beat any of them. But it's going to be fun. I'm pulling up the league right now because I should have had this prepped, but let me take a look at what the projections are looking like. I see that Drew's on the chopping block, and it might be because he didn't set a lineup yet. He had something minor happen in his life, as we heard at the beginning of this show. His wife did just give birth to his first child. But yeah, right now, the projected chop points is 112 points. You know, that it used to be around like the 80s, and this is where just everyone's got a very good team. And Drew's team and lineup is set, so that is reflective of his squad. But like he's got Bijan Robinson and James Cook as his starting running backs, and you know the wide receivers spots are a little bit but you know 112 points projected is going to be crazy. So we'll see how that shakes out, but it could be anyone's time. It could be anyone's time, and that's the fun of this league. So we'll see what happens. We'll report back. We'll be doing our next live stream on Monday, and we'll be kind of live casting it there. Has it been, and I mean this actually seriously, I'm not like, there's no salt in the wound here, but like, have you missed it at all? Or is it kind of
honestly? Yeah. I mean, you know, when I lock in like my waiver claims in my normal standard, you know, leagues that I'm in, I always feel like I'm like missing something. It's like, this is like, you know, this was always like the first thing you do for waivers. Like, okay, who lost, who's available, how much do I have left? And it was like you put a lot more thought into it than other leagues. At least I did. So not having that is kind of like, it's kind of weird because it's like, yeah, I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore. I did notice that one of my players did get dropped again. Like it was on Duncan's team, Jalen Warren. So he's been picked up 2 weeks in a row now. So that's funny. And you know what's actually funny? So my buddy Adam, Victory Adam in the Guillotine League,
he's killing it.
He works with me as like, I know him. I've known him forever, but he works at Medline, and I saw him at the office today, and we were just talking about Guillotine League for like 5 minutes in the break room, just like talking about it. So like it's like catching on. People are digging it. Like it was, you know, I was bummed to have lost when I did, but it's still, I mean, I still get excited to like watch who's going to get chopped this week.
Right.
So it is fun. Like it's not as fun from the outside looking in, but it is still like a fun, like if I were to not be able to compete in my regular fantasy league, I don't think I'd really care much about it. But like this, I don't know, it's just something about it. Like it's just fun to see who's getting who and who's still alive.
It's like the high stakes nature of it. It's like you're gone and then you're gone. It's it's so unique. And I kid you not when I say this too, but like we're both in a good amount of leagues, and I have some that are you know more expensive than others. And this one, it comes with no price tag. Right. You can get, you know, the victory basket. And if me or Drew ended up winning, which won't happen, like we're not going to take the prizes, we'll give it to whatever. But this is the league I look most forward to, and like tracking the scores by a landslide. And it's hilarious to say because I love I love all of the leagues. I love the dynasty league so much though. And taking a look at that, but like I'm always checking this league first. Always checking this league first, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll see how it goes this week. Down to 8. There can only be 1. So we'll see how things go as the teams get less and less and the talent gets more stacked. It's going to be insane. So, but let's move on if you're cool, unless you had any more thoughts on the Guillotine League, but let's move on to our fantasy pick'em league, a section I'd love to skip permanently. I'll tell you, just not been good. So bad. In fact, I decided to pick Bryce Young as my quarterback last week, and he put up a whopping 2.56 points for me. So lo and behold, I put up 36.26, which might have been, I think that's like on par with what my normal score has been. Nick, you had a fucking great week, 85 points.
Yeah, Brees
yeah,
or not Brees Hall, Achan. Yeah,
Achan went nuts. Yeah. And then Drew put up 65.6, which is respectable. He benefited from having Jahmyr Gibbs's a monster game. Got weighed down by Pittman a bit, and Judkins had a 9.5, or Daniel Jones put up 16.5. But so you and Drew are having a dogfight. You're winning 618. Drew's got 604, and I cough have 474. So it's a 2-dog race right now, but we'll keep on trucking along. Now, what Drew's such an all-star in his dedication to this podcast, obviously to his family, but him even just joining, but he also provided us all of his fantasy picks and dogs of the week and all that stuff. So we're going to kind of slot him in appropriately. Do you have his picks up by chance?
I do. He only gave us 4 players, so I figured I'm just going to put his players in and take them off the board for us.
Let's do that. Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of call out who his 4 are?
Yeah. So Drew will be going with Marcus Mariota this week as his quarterback. He will be taking Ashton Genty as his running back against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, which I think is a great pick. He has T. Higgins as his wide receiver. And then he has another tight end as his flex. He's going Zach Ertz. He is a big Commanders guy this weekend, apparently.
Yeah, he's been on the tight end train too.
Yeah. Yes, he has. He's done it like 3 times this year, I think. At least, because I see Laporta, I see Bowers, and now Ertz.
Okay.
So interesting.
I think to pick on that Dolphins defense could work out.
It could work out. So then, we can just kind of go however you want to go back and forth then between us.
How do you want to do it? Do you want to how did you and Drew do it? Did you guys do just go 1-2, 1-2, or did you guys snake it?
I think we did 1-2, 1-2.
Okay. Well, how about you lead us off and we'll do that?
Yeah. Okay. That works for me. I am going to take, just get a little bit more information on this person really quick. So I'm going to take Josh Jacobs, going to New York, which is a road game, but still, I don't think there's really any distance. Like New York, I mean, the field's shitty, but I think as long as he stays healthy, he should be good. So Josh Jacobs against the Giants as my first pick.
Yeah, smart pick.
Wait.
You got it?
I have already taken Josh Jacobs, so I will not be taking Josh.
Oh, well, that's actually a miracle because Josh Jacobs was written 101 for me, so I'm gonna snake right in there.
Well, I'm gonna take Drake London as a receiver at first. Then,
okay, cool.
Just let me get that guy. I'm gonna sneak that in there. Okay,
London's got some bangers recently too.
I know he's been like the Falcons have been a real bummer, except for literally him.
Literally him, yeah.
That's it. Even Bijan Robinson has been a bummer the last few weeks.
I'll tell you, man. The having Bijan in the Dynasty League and seeing what's his name? What's their Algier? Yeah. Just vulturing all of these touchdowns has been really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I will take Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I could have hung on to that, but that's who I was gonna pick 101. We're gonna stay true to it. I love that. I love him for the reasons you mentioned. I also love it because Jameis Winston's coming back in that game as QB1 for the Giants, which is going to be absolutely epic. I don't know if you listened to any of or saw any of the sound clips of him in his interview about it, but if you haven't, I won't spoil anything. It's just a classic Jameis interview. It's fantastic.
It's a part of the NFL week that I need to get reaccustomed to looking for. Because when Jameis is a starter, you're going to get some sound bites. You just are. He's a weird dude, and it cracks me up. So I'm going to definitely look for those.
I was going through a lot of Jameis related Twitter today because I probably spent 10 minutes just like looking through going down a Jameis Winston rabbit hole at work today, and there was a tweet like one of his former players was like, "Yeah, Jameis, awesome guy, a little interesting. I remember one time he was giving us a pep talk before we ran to the tunnel. He started with a prayer and he was ended it by singing the Monday Night Football theme." It seems mild for Jameis too, but anyway, let's get back to this. Who's your second pick?
Okay, second pick. I am gonna go with. I'm gonna take DK Metcalf. I think as long as I haven't taken him yet because. They're playing the Bengals this week, and the Bengals are absolutely terrible. So that'll be my flex. I don't think I've taken him yet. So, all right, DK Metcalf is my pick. He's had a couple stinkers the last 3 or 4 weeks, but again, this Bengals defense is historically bad, and I think there's gonna be a lot of points scored in that game. So, give me DK Metcalf.
Cool. Hey, I'm on a similar wavelength with you there. You see the Bengals, and you want to take someone from the offense opposing the Bengals. So I'm gonna take Jaylen Warren, running back, and put him in my flex spot, and hope for the best there.
Yeah, I think that is a solid pick as well. All right. I am going to go to quarterback because I am realizing that I had Josh Jacobs and Jalen Warren written down as my top 2 running backs, and I can't take either, and I'm going to scramble. So I'm going to take a quarterback, and this might be a bit of a gamble for me since I mean, I've been playing pretty well, but I'm going to take Tua as my quarterback. I think the Commanders are on pace, maybe not on pace, but slightly better than the Bengals on defense.
Yeah.
The Dolphins haven't looked terrible the last few weeks. They've won 2 in a row, I think, or at least they beat the Bills this week. I know that for a fact. So I think the Dolphins are not good, but they're better than the Commanders and the Commanders offense or Commanders defense. So I like Tua this week.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, he lit it up for 4 touchdowns. Last week, he had 2. They beat the Bills. So, I think he's been getting dragged around, but the numbers can be there for him. So I don't hate that. And I like anyone playing against that Washington Commanders defense has a shot. So yeah, I'm digging it. Gamble, don't get me wrong. It's 2, it's the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, it's a gamble.
I think
it's nothing. Yeah, nothing for sure.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable. All right, I'm going to go on Sunday Night Football, and this is the Eagles alliance that we were talking about. So we're all Eagles fans. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts against the Lions on Sunday Night Football as my quarterback. Tush push and all. I don't. Did you hear Dan Campbell's little rant on the tush push?
No.
He was like they asked him if they wanted him to ban the tush push. He's like, no, man. If you do that, then football is going to become no pads and all this. It was classic, like meatball, beautiful Dan Campbell response is great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love Dan Campbell. I really do. All right. So now I still need a running back, and I'm trying to not scramble. I'm just going to take I'm going to take somebody who I don't think I've taken yet. Let's take a double check. Yeah, I'm going to take Chase Brown as my running back. They play the Steelers. I just think there's going to be a lot of points in that game. So I think that someone's going to score the points for the Bengals. I'm just basically counting on him to get in the end zone once or twice in this game.
Sure.
So Chase Brown is my pick for running back.
Yeah, he got off to a really slow start, but he's had some fucking monster games recently.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I'm going to do the classic stack. I took Devonta Smith from the Eagles last week. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to gamble a little bit. AJ Brown. I think he's got to be due for an actual good game, right?
He's got to be. I agree.
I think so.
He's had honestly 2 good games this season as a fantasy player. It's got to, he's playing. He's got to get the ball thrown to him. The Lions defense isn't a defense that is going to completely shut you down either. The Lions defense gives up points, gives up yards. So I think that's going to be a high scoring game as well.
I sure hope so. It is a big risk of a pick, and you wouldn't think it's saying that about AJ Brown before the season. You'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? He has 4 games this season out of 9 with 27 or less receiving yards. That's insane. He has 200 plus yard receiving games. That's it. I mean, it's 408 receiving yards on the season through 9 games. That's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
So we shall see. I wish you luck, sir. You're still in the competition. Drew, we'll see how things shake out. I'm just here for the good time. And we'll mosey on over to the dogs of the week. Dogs of the week from last week. God, we were close. We were close. 2 out of 3 of them. The 49ers let us down.
They did.
And that's okay. I had the Eagles at plus 2.5. Nick, you had the 49ers at plus 4.5. Drew had the Patriots plus 2.5.
Yeah,
and
you guys won outright.
Yeah, they did. The Pats and the Eagles both won outright. Our season records I'm 4-5. Nick, you're 4-6. Drew clawed back to 500 at 5-5. But the momentum's turning in our favor. What was it? 2 weeks ago, we got our parlay hit in the dog. So we've been 5 out of 6 in the last 6 for dogs. So we're getting back on the right track, right? Yeah. And that's nice.
That's
so
nice.
Drew, let's give Drew his top pick, and then we'll go from there. I think he deserved it. So
Yeah.
Do you have that one ready?
I do. So Drew, and this will not shock anybody based on our fantasy pick'em segment. Drew's number one pick is the Commanders plus 2.5 against the Dolphins.
There you go. Yeah,
So,
I mean, you're
not a
getting
shocker.
points against the Dolphins. It's got to look pretty appetizing, right?
Right. I don't care who you are.
Keep it. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple.
Yeah, yep. All right. Washington plus 2.5 at Miami.
Sweet. Okay. Nick, are you ready with your pick?
I am.
Okay.
All right. I don't like to do this because I typically like to make this its own thing and not lumped in with any other bets, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Bears plus 3 at the
There you
Vikings.
go. Yep. I mean, that one, I had that one as well, so I love it because let's just go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
This one, I don't know why I like it so much, and I'm even having a tough time convincing myself why I'm doing this. So bear with me because I love it, but at the same time I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it, but I love it. Abriparex. Jags plus 3. Jags plus 3 against the Chargers.
Okay.
I can do some mental gymnastics and say West Coast to East Coast
Yeah.
for whatever reason. That Jags team is despicably bad. And part of the reason I'm saying that too is because I do think that the Chargers are beat up. Their offensive line's super beat up. I think the Jags rush defense is regardless of what the stats say, I think that they're fine. And I think that it's going to be a tough sledding in the running game. I think there's going to be some opportunistic turnovers in the game. And when I first looked at the line, this is like the beautiful mind thing going on. But I was like, okay, that's 6, right? That's 5.5 or 6, and it's 3. Something's fishy. Give me the Jags. I might be doing too much mental gymnastics, but like I like that a lot, and it's scary. So apologies if I'm the guy who sinks the ship this week, but I'm sticking with my guns there.
I like it. You can follow this parlay at plus 566.
Okay.
DraftKings. So that's fine.
560. I would have liked that a little more juicy.
Yeah,
a little more sauce in there.
But let's win some. Let's win some, then we can go after the.
I was gonna say, let's see it go through the damn net, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Okay. Well, we got that locked. We got the parlay. Let's win another parlay. Let's freaking do it. I'll tell you what. I'll take us through the overs, and then I'll kick it back to you for the 3-man weave and so on. But the overs, we were close again. We were 2-3 again, and I picked the diaper game of the week, the low point total. Cleveland and the Jets, and they covered.
They covered, yeah.
They did that, and I think it was like there were some kickoff returns and like defensive touchdowns. That's the only way that thing was going to happen.
I think the Jets had both a kickoff and a punt return touchdown.
Yeah, that's how that covered, or else it wouldn't have. But hey, we get lucky. Nick, you made the call of the week with Seattle and Arizona. Seattle had 38 points by themselves at halftime, so that was an easy one.
Yeah, that was an easy winner.
I think they were in the 60s in that game.
It was like 68, I think, was the total. Yeah, so
absolutely,
that was a never doubter. Yeah.
Yeah, that was easy as pie. And Drew picked. I mean, again, he just became a father today, so I'm not going to lay into him too hard. But Drew picked the Bears. The Bears got the win, but Drew picked the Bears at 26.5. And listen, he's 2-8 on the season. So listen, his son just got born, so he's guaranteed a win this week. We'll let him start off with his 1-of-1 pick. But Nick, you're 4-6. I'm 7-2 in this area. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's go. So, Nick, how about you share who Drew's going with this week?
All right. So Drew's number one over. He said that he's done picking. He's done with overs because overs. He's done with the overs for the year, but he'll be transitioning to Bears overs of the week.
Okay, excellent.
So he is now. So his over of the week is Rome Odunze over 56.5 yards receiving against the Vikings on Sunday, which I actually like a lot.
It seems frighteningly low. But they do distribute the ball.
So,
They do distribute the ball a lot, but that does seem like I would have thought that would have been closer to 70. So
it's wild because Rome averages 62 yards receiving a game, and this point totals at 48.5. So Yeah, so they think there's going to be points. So it does seem weird. So I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it, but I would have also had it probably closer to like 67, 68. But
Well, I would also say this, like the average is going to be skewed pretty dramatically when he got goosed
correct.
a couple weeks ago,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
still 62 or whatever that is. So
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. I like it.
I do too. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So
Sorry, I'm just packing my lips full of nicotine right now.
That makes sense. You got to do it. I am going to, honestly, I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. And I think there's going to be points on points on points in this game. I'm going to stick with the same team I went with last week. I'm going to take the Seahawks at Rams.
Hell yes.
48.5 is the number. They're playing in Los Angeles indoors. I think this is going to be a super fun game to watch, and there's going to be a lot of points in it. So I thought this game would be over 50, to be honest with you. I thought the number was going to be like 51.5. Seeing 48.5, I'm going to hammer that all day. So
Yep. Nick, that's my clear 101. I love that pick. I love it a lot. I looked at this, and how I always do it is I look at the games, and then I think of what my spread or over would be. And if there's a large deviation, then I'm circling it. And I had them I thought that was going to be 52.5.
Yeah.
So, maybe there's something fishy going on there, but man, that Seahawks, both of those offenses look fantastic. And that's a clear for me 1 of 1. So I love that pick.
And I don't think either of those defenses are bad by any means, but I don't think either of those defenses are elite or anything. They should be they should be moving up and down the field the whole game in that, if you ask me. The only thing that could really derail this is some deep in territory fourth down conversions failing or turnovers or something like that. But even that, I think a few of those you can probably overcome in this game, because there's going to be the pace of this game is going to be crazy. So I want to see this game, period. But I also think there's going to be a lot of points in it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you. I'm actually stoked for this. This slate has a couple of really fun games. Chiefs, Broncos, Lions, Eagles, obviously Vikings. The game that Seahawks, Rams. There's some good ones that are on the schedule. My second pick, the one that I had started was Bucks and Bills, 47.5. I probably should have taken a look at the weather forecast. I know this one's going to be, I believe this one's going to be in Buffalo.
It is, yep.
I don't need to go too far into it. I just like both of the offenses here. I really do. The Bills have been a little bit weird lately, so this has the ability to just be a complete shootout, and so I like the upside in that. And 47.5 seems very doable. I would have thought this one was in the 50-51 area, so that's what I'm going with.
Looks like there's a 25% chance of some rain snow mix, but I don't think it doesn't look like it's going to accumulate or anything crazy like that. So I don't think weather should be a huge factor in that game. So I like that pick too.
Probably cold, but it is what it is.
It'll
People
be
can put up points.
30 to 35. It'll be like 30 to 40 degrees somewhere around there. So, we're at plus 584 on the parlay here for that. So again, just let's see one go through the hoop here, and then we can worry about getting some juice in it later.
Yep. Sick. Lock and load.
All right. So that'll do it for our betting picks. Now we're going to move on to our 3-man weave, which, as you guys know, our 3-man weave, we go through, we pick the 7 most interesting, closest spreads of the week, and we just pick money line straight up, and we are competing against each other to see who has the best record at the end of the season. As of right now, that person is Drew, based on his 7-0 perfect week last week, which dude's having a week, folks.
Yeah.
He's on fire this week with a lot of things. So Drew is at 38-31-1, and then I think you're technically ahead of me because you have a above 500 record. So you're 32-30-1, and then I'm 34-35-1. So Jay and I are both creeping around 500. Drew was creeping around 500, and then he went 7-0 last week. So that'll happen. Actually, Drew was at exactly 500 last week, and now he's 7 games up. So, we're all one good week and one bad week away from being right where we need to be. So, without any further ado, we're going to dive into this first game on the slate. I have the Washington Commanders at Dolphins. The spread is Miami -2.5. So, Jay, I'm going to ask you for your pick first.
This is more of a pick against a team than it is for a team, and I'm going to be with Drew in alignment. I just don't have a lot of faith in Miami. I think they come off of a big win against the Bills, and they're due for a letdown. And I think that there's going to be points scored in the game, but I just think that this is where the Miami defense just kind of gets got.
Yeah, and if you haven't guessed by Drew's dog and fantasy pick'em section, he is also taking Washington in this game. So that'll leave me the lone Dolphin supporter on this game. I shouldn't say Dolphin supporter because I really think that team is absolute garbage. But
so is Washington.
Washington. I said this on Monday's show, and I just want to let it sink in. The Dolphins or the Commanders are the first team in the NFL in like 35 years to lose 4 straight games by 21 plus points. That is a level of bad that even like we haven't seen like in a long time. This team is bad and they're missing their starting quarterback. This is a bad team. I don't think the Dolphins are a good team, but I think the Dolphins are the better of the 2 bad teams here.
There you go.
We'll take it. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, I'll take the Dolphins in this one.
I'll tell you this much: this is a game I ain't touching when it comes to betting. That's a don't. I might
throw a touchdown score or 2 on this game, but I'm staying away from the line, staying away from money line, staying away from the over. Oh, maybe I'll take the over. But yeah, agreed. I don't know I feel like this game could be anything. It could be literally anything. Miami could win 48-0. Washington could win 48-0. This game could go to overtime and tie. Like this could be literally anything. So I have no idea.
The nice part is this is a nice noon kickoff. You're not in the hole yet. You're not chasing, so just stay away from it. You know,
and it'll be and also like it's just buried. You'll see some of the big plays on red zone. You don't need to worry about watching this one.
Yeah, that's good. That's 100%.
All right. So next game is a game that we already talked about a little bit with Jay's dog. So I'm going to let you start this one again really quick. Chargers at Jags. Chargers are -3 visiting the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the dog pick. It's only 3 points, so I think, it's really hard to convince myself why they're gonna win the game. I just think it's gonna be one of those funny, fluky, weird ones, and I don't really have any good analysis to support it, and I hate that, but it's just more of a gut feeling, and I'll admit that. So
yeah, you know what's funny is that you say that, and I'm going to say the Jaguars as well. And the reason I'm going to say the Jaguars is because you give up a 29 or well, I don't even know what the number was. How many points?
36-29. Yeah, my God, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were by
they were up by 19 points.
19, that's what it was. They were by 19 points going into the fourth quarter. Had about as bad a fourth quarter as you'd possibly have. And it's one of those things where like, all right, well, everyone knows the Jags are a joke now. It's like, well, wouldn't it make sense that they just like come up and they beat a playoff team in this game? So it's like one of those like the NFL doesn't make sense situations.
Yes,
right? That's what I'm kind of banking on. So I'll take the Jaguars in this game, and then we're gonna actually all be in consensus because Drew is also taking the Jaguars in this game. So we all believe we're gonna have to take some money line on that. I think.
God have mercy on our souls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Okay. So we're gonna go on to the next game, which again is my personal favorite game on the board this week. I love not even betting wise, but just watching football. This game is going to be so much fun. Seattle at the Rams. Los Angeles Rams are -3. It's in Los Angeles, basically a pick 'em. So I'm going to go ahead and go first. I like both these teams. Both these teams are so fun to watch. I'm going to take the Rams in this game simply because I want my Matt Stafford MVP to keep going up in value, and I hope that keeps happening. So I'm going to take the Rams in this game, and then I'll give you Drew's pick as well. Drew is also on the Rams, so me and Drew are both on the Rams this week. So Jay, what say ye?
Yeah, I like the Rams, but I also like the Seahawks. Right?
Same thing.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God. I actually am going to pick the Seahawks here. Yeah. Man, how do I want to explain this? I hate to go back to back with like a gut thing, but like I'm going to be cheering for the Rams, if that makes sense. Like I like that Rams team a lot.
Yeah.
But there's something underrated about the Seahawks team that I still don't think that they're getting as much credit as they should be getting. And I get it. They're going to be going into LA, and that home field advantage is really important. But it is kind of like a pick 'em. It's that -3 line where it's like this is anyone's game, division games, and I like I will put actual a unit on the Seahawks at +3, but I just think that I almost think it's like a season of destiny, and this is going to be one of those like cornerstone moments of like now the Seahawks are going to become more in the national picture. I know that doesn't explain things perfectly, but that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. The Seahawks, it's funny because I've never been a Russ Wilson guy, right? Like I always thought he was kind of a weirdo. Even when he was like not as weird as he is now and as weird as we know he is. But my buddy went to Michigan State. So I went to the Michigan State, Wisconsin Big Ten championship game way back in the day when Russ was there. And I just hated the way he played. It didn't feel like he was like good. He just kind of like lofted it up there. And it always kind of felt like that. So what I'm trying to get at here is like when the Seahawks were good before, like they weren't, at least in my mind, they weren't like a super likable team.
Yeah.
Like the Legion of Boom was like super cocky and arrogant and like some, I didn't really care for it, but then I kind of grew to like it. But a lot of people didn't like it. This Seahawks team is not that. This Seahawks team is fun to root for. Like JSN is one of the best young football players in the NFL. Sam Darnold is easy to root for. He's been written off so many times by us and everybody else. So the Seahawks team is fun to root for, but something about like, I don't know, Matt Stafford, just like
I know
watching the punishment he took in Detroit for all those years, seeing him out in Los Angeles on a good team. It just, it's hard not to root for that too. So it's one of those like weird situations where it's like, this is going to be a fun game. And it's like, I don't really care who wins because I kind of like both these teams.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think it's going to be a really enjoyable watch, like money on the line or without it. Like that's going to be game of the week type stuff. I'm going to look really quick too. I always like to see where the money's coming in from. It's an even split at +3. It's 50-50 where the money's coming in right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure that'll change the next couple of days, but
yeah,
that is interesting. The one thing I'll say about the Seahawks, got to get Elijah Arroyo more involved in the team. Nice rookie tight end they have. He's a solid player. He's on my dynasty team.
Yeah.
He's flashed a little bit. He's flashed a little bit. I think he might be a good player. I got him in like the 9th or 10th pick of the 3rd round. So
that's
any
pretty
value
sweet.
out of that would be pretty good. So
yep.
Okay. So next game, we're going to stay in the NFC West because this could be another fun game. We got the 49ers at Cardinals again. We got Jacoby Brissett. I don't think this had happened yet when we recorded on Monday, but Kyler Murray has been put on IR for the next 4 weeks. I think it's safe to say his Cardinals career is probably over, which is wild.
It is.
Because I think they still owe him a lot of money for a couple more years. So I don't really know what's going to happen there. That's a shitty situation to be in. That's, I don't want to get on my soapbox here. We're already running a little bit. Actually, we're not running that long.
Yeah, we're good.
But the NFL with like the quarterback salaries is just getting out of hand. Like you have to like take a 50-50 gamble. If you have a young quarterback that shows any promise, you got to pay him a shitload of money. And this is exactly what can happen. You can be the Cardinals and your quarterback that you're paying a shitload of money to is just not the guy. And that's a bummer if you're a fan of the team.
Yeah, it honestly, it doesn't stop there though. It's Tua, it's
no, for sure.
Trevor Lawrence. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's tough.
Let's see. Oh God, yeah, 2026. Kyler's guaranteed $39.8 million. So that's going to be a tough one.
I don't know what they're going to do, because he was active. No, he wasn't active. He was at the game. He wasn't active. So maybe he really is injured. I don't know. Who am I to say? But
yeah,
it does seem like a soft benching, if you will. So
yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. So anyway, so the 49ers in this game are visiting Arizona. They're favored by 3 points. So I will go ahead and start first again. I just think San Francisco is a better team. I do think Jacoby Brissett brings something more to the Cardinals offense and makes them a little bit more feisty, but I still think the Niners win this game.
Yeah, what's interesting is we're getting to a point with Kyler where it's like Jacoby Brissett's the better option for them to win football games, and that's pretty weird to say.
It's not good.
not good, not very bad to say.
Very bad.
For that reason, I'm with you. Give me San Francisco. The line seems a little interesting, right? Of only them being -3.
Yeah.
So that gives me a little bit of pause of putting the house down on San Francisco. And let's remember too, San Francisco's defense is just completely battered. But the Cardinals have no run game, 0 run game. They have Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback. Sometimes you just got to kind of keep it simple. And in San Francisco, like you said, Nick, is the better team.
Yeah. Maybe worth bringing up, maybe not worth bringing up. It was announced today that Brock Purdy will be starting again this week.
Yeah.
I do, after Mac Jones played last week, I do think that Purdy is a better option than Mac Jones. But it's not by that much. I don't think it's a significant upgrade by any means. So,
well, I think you see that reflected in the Vegas line. It's like they're still only -3.
Right. Yeah, it hasn't changed. So, Drew is also taking the 49ers in this game. So we have our second consensus. Wow, that was harder to say than it should have been. Hello. So we got all three of us on the Niners against the Cardinals.
Cool.
All right. So next game, this will be the Sunday night game. This will be a fun game. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This will be a 3:00 or 3:30 game. This will be a fun game too. You alluded to it earlier. Chiefs at Broncos. The Chiefs are -3.5 at the Broncos. So, Jay, what are you thinking about this game? Where are you at? You're a Broncos guy.
I love the Broncos. I love the Broncos team. I think it's a fun storyline, but I think there's too much on the line for the Chiefs to lose this game. Right?
Yeah.
You're chasing a team from behind. You're a more talented team. The Broncos defense is awesome, but the Broncos are also playing against Patrick Mahomes, and I'm keeping this one simple. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes on the money line in this game. It's in Denver. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
The line is 3.5 for the Chiefs, right? In Denver. And listen, Rashee Rice has been, they look like the Chiefs with Rashee Rice back. And I would imagine that even if this is not the highest scoring game, that Denver offense has looked like shit the last couple of weeks. And it's not going to get easier against the Chiefs defense. So give me the Chiefs in this one. I think that's, for me, self-explanatory.
Yeah. When I was talking to my buddy Adam today at work, like I was talking to you about earlier, we were talking about the Guillotine League. And then we started talking about the Broncos because both of us have Broncos players on fantasy teams. We were kind of lamenting how their offense has just been so bad lately. And then he mentioned that they might be one of the worst 8-2 teams that have been around lately. And I was like, the Broncos are 8-2.
Yeah.
And I had to look it up. Like, holy shit, the Broncos are 8-2.
Yeah.
That's a really good record. And they haven't done anything that I can anything memorable this season. Nothing really jumps out at me.
Yeah.
So the reason that's important, the Chiefs are 5-4. They're 3 games, 2.5 games back of the AFC North. I'm sorry, the AFC West. If they want to, we all kind of assume the Chiefs being in the playoffs are a foregone conclusion, but right now they are right in the middle of the pack of the AFC. I think they're in the playoffs right now, but they need to start winning some games to get back into the playoff picture. So
it's crunch time.
It is crunch time. It's Mahomes time. So I do believe Kansas City will win this game as well. And then let's see what Mr. Drew has. Drew has the Broncos. Drew believes in the Broncos. He's a believer. So Drew has the Broncos. All right. So this is the Sunday night game. This is the Lions at Eagles. Eagles are -2.5. So Drew has in this game, he actually has the Lions in this game. So Drew has the Lions.
Interesting. He's a big Eagles guy.
He's
his
a big
second,
Eagles
his
guy.
second team.
Philly Drew.
Philly Drew.
I'm gonna take the Eagles in this game. Partially because I want the Eagles to beat the Lions and the Lions to have a loss on their record this week, so that regardless of what happens, the Bears will have the same record as the Lions at the end of the week. But also because I think the Eagles are a really good team and it's in Philadelphia. The Lions are a very good. They're both really good teams, but I just think that the Philadelphia defense is really kind of they're kind of establishing themselves as a very good unit. Vic Fangio's got the guys running around and playing really well right now. So I do think the defense can carry them. We saw it on Monday night last week. So I like Philadelphia in this game. If anything we can get from the offense, I think will be good. So give me
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
their addition of Jalen Phillips too on
Yeah.
the edge rusher from Miami
Yep.
it already paid dividends last week for them against the Packers.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Lions though. I don't love the Eagle. I don't love this Eagles team. I think that it's just like
I don't
being
love this Eagles
put
team
together.
either. They're weird, but for whatever reason they keep winning games.
I do love this Detroit team though. Like that is my secret like crush, right? Is the Lions. Like I really love it. I love that Lions team. And so it's almost like I don't take this the wrong way. I don't want them to win, but like I just love I think they're a great football team. And I think that this is kind of where the clock strikes not midnight for Philadelphia. I think they've been getting away like that Packers game. The Packers played so bad on offense. The Eagles should have won that game by like two touchdowns, and they didn't. And there were some stupid coaching moves from Sirianni. And like, why aren't we getting Saquon the ball more? Like all of these things are just feeling like they're adding
all
up.
valid. Yeah.
And so I'm just going to take the Lions.
I do think that, I mean, for what it's worth, this game's in Philly. And so, so I think that is a big difference.
That is huge.
Going to Green Bay. So I don't know. And, Detroit, they don't play a lot of true outdoor games, right? They play the Packers and the Bears once a year and a handful of others. They play a lot of indoor games. So being outside at night in Philadelphia, I think that's probably worth a couple points right there. So I don't know. I think that I like the Eagles in this game just for a lot of that stuff. But if these two teams are playing on like a neutral site indoors, I'm taking the Lions probably.
Yeah, that's fair. This is going to be a good game. I think that's the nice part. Like this is a nice Sunday night football matchup. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
And God help me, I hope I'm not chasing because I don't want to have to like pick something. You know what I mean? It kind of is that coin flip situation.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, this is the way my DraftKings account is right now. There's a decent chance that this will be the $13.43 left in my account going on like a plus 1,000 parlay to try and get it all back. So let's have a day besides this game. Anyway, all right. Last game as usual. We got our Bears at the Vikings. Vikings are -3. I'm gonna go with Drew first again. Drew, no surprise, has our Bears as he said he was going to. He said he keeps saying he's done picking against the Bears. So he's got the Bears. Jay, what about you?
Hey man, it's been working well for him in the last 7 games. So yeah, I mean it's Bears. Let's go. Yeah. Well, let's consensus it.
Yeah, it's a consensus. Bears. I will be betting probably a couple units on the Bears money line in this game. I love the plus sign. You give me a plus sign, I'm going to be a happy man. So yeah, I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears money line. I'll probably take the Bears. Couple parlays with Bears money line plus like a touchdown. I haven't really decided yet, so I'll be finding some juice in this game and I'll be betting significantly on it and I will be glued to this game. So very excited.
You know what I think I'm going to do too is do some kind of like I haven't done one of these in a long time, but some kind of like a tease. I might do a Seahawks Bears tease to like a +9 and see how that shakes out.
Yeah, one thing that I like to do, and it's not, I wouldn't advise against. I would advise against it, but one thing that I do is I'll take my 5 favorite plays that are relatively like money line bets that are, like -150 or better.
Yeah,
and I'll just parlay them all together, and I'll just hope I get hot in a week.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
I do that. Like I'll do like 4 of the noon slate games and I'll try and hit those. And then I'll do like 2 or 3 of the 3:00 slate games. It's just I have only won it like 3 or 4 times, but it's something I like to do. It's so I'll probably be doing that as well. I almost hit it last week. It was a real bummer. I think I had the Jaguars. I would have hit it if it wasn't for the Jaguars.
Oh God.
But it's okay. It's okay. We press on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they get you, I suppose. But man, when those hit though, that's what it's all about.
It really is. It really is. Last year, and I don't want to go too much of a tangent, but last year I don't really watch a lot of college football. Like I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not like really seeking it out ever. But it might have been, it was around this time of year because it was in November, but it was before Thanksgiving. I put down a 4-team money line parlay in college, and the last game on it was Notre Dame Navy
No.
money line, and I was like, oh man, do I cash out? And I was like, no, I'm gonna ride it out, and it was awesome. I won, I think it was like plus 1,800 or something like that. It was sick. So
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, that'll do it for my betting advice talk. Please don't follow my betting. My betting is strange and doesn't make sense, and I lose way more than I win. So, but anyway, that's going to wrap up most of our show. We're going to go through our closing thoughts first. Jay, I'm going to let you start. Why don't you go ahead and give us some closing thoughts?
With pleasure. So I'll keep mine short and sweet and simple and on the nose. We led the show with Drew making a guest surprise. His first child was born today, so I just wanted to say another congrats to Drew. His wife's doing well, and that's always a blessing as well. So congrats to the Bailey family, welcoming a new young guy, another future Bears fan, current Bears fan, if you will, into the world, and all the best to them. So love you guys, and congrats on everything.
Yeah, I want to echo that as well. I mean, becoming a father's having your first kid, becoming a father is definitely a moment that I will always remember. For my life, it's a very powerful moment in a person's life. Just becoming a parent, when that child is born and you hold it for the first time, it's just a real special feeling. And I'm glad that Drew and Jenny got to experience that today, because it is such a special thing to have. And speaking of birthdays, I also want to shout out my wonderful wife, Kate. Today is her birthday as well. So the Bailey baby and my wife share a birthday, which is fun. Now I'll always remember when Drew's kid's birthday is.
Nice.
So anyway, just want to shout out my wife, Kate. Happy birthday. Thanks for letting me do this on your birthday. And well, we did some fun stuff earlier. We did dinner and all that fun stuff. So we're good. But anyway, shout out, Kate. Love you. Glad. Hope you had a good birthday.
Awesome. Yeah. Happy birthday, Kate. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you. So that's going to do it for us here at Barely Qualified. On behalf of Drew Bailey and Jason Maxwell, I'm Nick Lavris. Thanks for listening. And as always, we will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.